you doing okay or?
Yeah, I just fell asleep. I had a nap
Okay,
here on the chair.
Did you get some sleep yesterday?
Yes,
Okay.
from 6 until 8 in the morning.
6.
So 12 hours.
Oh, okay. So you got a good sleep.
A good sleep.
All right. So your blood work, like we said, shows a bit of an elevated creatinine kinase, which is showing us some muscle damage. A couple of other enzymes that are sometimes found in the liver, sometimes found in muscle, are elevated. Your liver's okay though. The other, we can tease that out.
Great news.
Yeah.
Liver is important.
Liver is important. So basically, most of your blood work looks okay, other than that CK level, CK creatinine kinase. It's over 1,000, which normal is much lower than that. It's not into the common area where it's going to cause you a lot of damage, and it probably is this high for anyone doing this race.
Yeah.
But it does tell me, like, I would recommend fueling really well.
Fueling.
Because if your body's eating its muscle during this race, that's going to make this go up.
Yeah.
So fueling really well and consistently, and then really
I have rice pudding and volcanic vegetables or something.
Cool, and rice pudding is it's one of my favorites. So I think those things, fueling, if you have a little bit of access to some protein as well, may or may not be useful, just small amounts.
Okay.
But the biggest thing is, like, dude, and your urine was okay. So the big
Wonderful.
thing is, if that's happening, we look for something called myoglobin to spill through the urine.
Yes.
If that's happening, it can damage your kidneys. That was okay.
Perfect.
So
that was, I was afraid because I'm trying to drink a lot. So I was observing my urine, how colorful it is, how many times I numbered them. So I kept.
Well, and if your urine, so right now it's normal color, there's no evidence of myoglobin in it that we can see. If your urine turns brown or tea colored, that's a bad sign. You gotta stop. And you gotta stop or you'll damage yourself. If you start getting kind of the sensation of fevers and sweats, even though you shouldn't feel it, or you're just feeling sick and pain all over in different kind of ways than you normally do. Like I have a buddy who had rhabdo from a race, and he just said, the pain just kept getting worse and worse, even though it wasn't normal.
Yeah. Okay. Got this.
I
also do a vitamin load before.
Yeah.
Like magnesium, iron, stuff like that. I did it for a month.
Okay.
And I'm also doing a post.
Okay.
So I'm very careful with.
So I guess medically there is some evidence of muscle damage. I don't think it's that at this level it's going to cause you harm. If it did go up much, it could, right? Yeah. And so I think my official medical recommendation would be like, dude, no one studies ultra runners, so I can't tell you for sure what's going to happen.
Thank you so much. Thank you. It's the best news of today.
And cognitively, like, what I'm hearing is that there were some concerns from the race folks. There were some concerns of, like, you sleeping on your pulk in this weather, you could get in trouble, right? And they were concerned because, last night it does sound like things were weird for you, right? It sounds like you weren't your normal self.
Yes, it pushed my limit.
Well, and that
I was so close.
Well, and so here's my internal feeling, because I want to be as honest and open with you as I can.
Please.
Like, my internal feeling is like, I have some worry in me that could happen again, and you could get into a bad spot, and in this kind of terrain and weather, like, dude, you could die, right? And people have, or have lost. I saw one person lose parts of all 4 limbs. And so my only concern is I worry about you, and I'm going to be thinking about you until I know you're well. So my ask would be, I know how important it is for you to finish the race, and I
it's not for me.
It's for others.
So the organizers and Scott, the medic crew, they don't understand this race is not for me. It's for the children and for my father who I've been lost. So I just want to get to the end. I don't care about the time. I don't care about the position that I'm in. I don't care about no other races. I just want to be the last finisher.
So the thing is, to be the last finisher, you just got to keep yourself alive and okay.
Yeah.
And my only, again, I'm not, you do what you got to do.
Yeah.
Nothing that I have found stops you from racing.
Thank you.
But if what happened last night happens and you're out there on your own, you can die, right? And we all know this. People who go up Everest die all the time. But I'm saying I wouldn't stop you from finishing this race, and nothing I found stops you. But it does give us some caution that your body is under a lot of strain, that you had an event last night where you kind of weren't yourself, right? That's a warning sign too, to say, look, if you start getting into a bad place, like, you call for help, stop, do whatever you got to do, but get supplied, recover, be gentle on your body, because we know you're riding right at that limit of the end of what humans can do and not die.
And you know the feeling, you know, when you push and you want to get there and you say, I can do one more step. I think you understand me.
I have. You're doing it just in a more extreme setting than I've ever done it. And in a setting, you know, in the setting I was in, there were enough folks out there looking out for me that you know, for sure I would never have an issue. You're in a place where, like, the numbers of support people are fewer, the distances are longer, and just the weather is so extreme that, like, the risks are just way higher. And so all I'm saying is, and this is, like, I have a friend who's done this race before. Everyone accepts some risk. I think what we're seeing just between your blood work and between the way kind of things have been going otherwise, we know you're right at that edge, and I just want to see you live through this, man. So you gotta, like, for me, promise me that if you get into a bad spot, do you have a sat phone or any way to contact people?
Yes, I have.
If you get in a bad spot, contact someone. If you have to get them to bring whatever supplies out you need, do whatever you gotta do. And I respect your goal, you know, goals for yourself and others. Just don't die, please. Okay?
Okay. I promise I will not die. Thank you so much. It was an honor. I hope you see you again.
Yeah, you too.
Perfect.
All right, man.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much.
And I can tell you the race guys aren't going to be probably happy, because I think they're worried about you too.
No, but can I be honest with you? If we were doing this test and blood test and urine test before they made the decision, the whole story would be different. The fact that they took me off of the race, even if I was mentally strong, it's not okay. It's not the way.
It's tough. I know, and in their defense, because I see both sides, because I've been on both sides. You know, it's so tough, because the only thing worse than having a racer get pulled that didn't need to is having a racer die or get permanently injured. And up here, dude, we've seen it, right?
Yeah.
Like, I saw there was a racer in the Yukon Ultra who lost major parts of all four limbs.
I read about that story.
You know, and so it does happen. And we've had people die out here in the cold getting stuck when their sled broke down or something. So it does happen. So, you know, in my mind, the only thing worse than having a really bad racer year is just you never coming back. That's much worse for me. So I understand the concern on both sides. Cool?
Thank you.
You're welcome. Am I able to share?